What is up, guys, and welcome back. Highside Broadcasting coming back to you guys again here today. Finally, it's here. Championship weekend, championship race in Season 1. Who is going to get it done? JGR with virtually, literally a 75% chance of getting this win. Everybody else is 0 except Trackhouse. It would be a 25% chance. Ross Chastain versus Denny Hamlin versus Martin Truex Jr. versus Christopher Bell. 54 laps at a track we have not seen on the game yet. The last one, Homestead. We've not raced here all season. Let's get into it. Heck, we'll do practice. It's the championship race. We'll simulate practice, though I don't think it means anything. What is going to happen? Who is going to be the champion? Kyle Larson getting eliminated in the round of 8 to continue the Hendrick trend. One Hendrick car eliminated in each round of the playoffs, and they were one spot short of getting to the championship 4. Second there is Larson, but the other guys, first, third, fourth, and sixth, they're all fast this week so far. We'll see who qualifies up front. Hopefully this is a good racing track and not single file boring race. We'll see what happens though. There's been some really good races this year and there's been some not good ones. But Kyle Larson eliminated in crazy fashion, needed one spot, 1 point short. Him and Truex were tied and Truex got the tiebreaker. Larson needed 1 point. And heck, if he wins this race today, he'll think 1 point away from the championship, from being Season 1 champion. So, looks like nobody is really struggling here so far. They're first, third, fifth, and Truex back in 8th right now, the furthest one back. It's practice, though, but... Alright, Denny Hamlin wins practice. Now, more importantly, qualifying. Logano, Busch, Larson. Top 3 not championship drivers. So we've got Truex in 4th, the worst in practice, but qualifies the best. He's 4th. Bell 5th. Chastain 7th. Hamlin 9th. So none of them great, but none of them really doing too bad. Skip the warm-up. It doesn't mean anything. So Logano, Busch, and Larson, 3 non-championship drivers. You got Reddick, Byron, Blaney in the mix with these 4 guys right here. Truex, Bell, Chastain, Hamlin. Martin Truex Jr., Ross Chastain come in here with 6 wins on the year. Bell comes in with, I think, 4. And Denny comes in with 3. Or it might be 3 for Bell also, I'm not sure. But make sure to get these stats out to you. Here we are. Who is going to be Season 1 champion? 54 laps to find out. Gonna be watching that championship fight all day long. It's finally here. Logano, Busch leading you to green. Hopefully this will be a good racing track. Hopefully it'll be fun. It's an interesting first set of corners there. Logano out to the lead. Larson and Busch, Truex and Bell side by side for this championship fight. Chastain, Hamlin. Will we see any of these drivers get eliminated early? Find themselves in a wreck? Could we see something like that? And where we see somebody's hopes go up in smoke early? Christopher Bell currently in championship spot. Chastain now all over Truex and all 4 of them together. Here comes Hamlin. I hope it stays like this all day. All 4 of them all together. Now Bell goes high in the corner. Ross Chastain into the championship spot. Can Chastain in that 1 car get the championship for Trackhouse? Bell going to get down behind him. Now Hamlin back by Truex. All 4 of them still together. Larson to the lead. Logano to 2nd. Busch to 3rd. And then the championship 4 is 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Hamlin now looking underneath Denny Hamlin for, it'd be 2nd in the standings right now. Not quite going to get there. Bell almost up underneath Ross Chastain there. I am so glad this track is banked now. As you guys can see, it's not banked in 2002. But Chastain leads here. Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. Could be under fire here from Byron, Blaney, Harvick, Truex. Slowest in practice, fastest in qualifying. Immediately falls back to the worst run in Championship 4 car, and he's losing time to these guys up here. Chastain, Bell, and Hamlin. Chastain trying to take these JGR boys to school. I'm sure Joe Gibbs would be super disappointed, having 3 of his 4 cars in the Championship 4 and not getting the title. What's he got to do? Get all 4 of them in and lock it up? I mean, geez. Can Ross Chastain do it, though? He's got to beat the 3 Gibbs cars, and there's a small gap between them, and Truex is now under fire here from William Byron, last week's winner at Phoenix. Tragically eliminated in the round of 12, and that continues, like I said about the Hendricks streak going. Alex Bowman did make the playoffs. How many of you guys saw that coming? I'm not sure. Chase Elliott eliminated in the round of 16. Didn't see that coming. Then Byron, for sure didn't see that coming. Eliminated in the round of 12. And then even more so, Larson eliminated in the round of 8. Larson was plus 16 at the cutoff. Byron was plus 18 at the cutoff. Elliott ran well in the round of 16. He just found himself getting involved in multiple wrecks and still almost got in. Craziness. Every elimination race has had nuts stuff going on in it. Truex has got back by Byron, but now we've got Hendricks. I mean, they've won 3 races with Byron, 7 with Larson and Byron. Elliott couldn't get in victory lane, but ran well. I mean, Hendricks has had a good season, and just, it's not been good. None of them getting into Championship 4. Larson leading here. It'd be bittersweet to win the race, knowing you ain't going to be champion. Logano, he was out in the round of 12 as well. Kyle Busch also. All these guys, imagine if they could have got to the Final 4. They all see a championship in front of them, but they come in with no hope of a championship. Chastain cruising in 4th place. Could he win the championship and not win the race? I didn't think so. With the caliber of the 4 drivers we have in this race, I really figured one of them would win. But they're 4th, 5th, and 6th right now. Truex, again, got back by Byron earlier. Will we see a caution? Will we not? How's pit road going to be? I'm very curious to see how this one plays through here in championship weekend. Ross Chastain currently in that championship spot trying to take these 3 JGR boys to school. Bell is the closest to him, then Denny Hamlin, then Martin Truex Jr. Truex still has Byron all over him. We go through the field. Bowman, Elliott, Wallace, Keselowski, Buescher. Let's go ahead and talk about Kevin Harvick in his final race of his career. Here he is running in the 11th spot, trying to close it out with a top 10, winning at Atlanta. The amount of history he has at Atlanta. Won that race a couple weeks ago. His only win of the year, but Harvick was able to get it done, and he's going to end his career a winner. Awesome for Kevin Harvick. Josh Berry going to be in that car next season. Way to go for Harvick. Got to win, and running his last 50 laps of his career here at Homestead. Teammate Eric Almirola also in his final season. It was announced mostly through this season. I mean, we found out maybe 7, 8, 9 races ago, maybe a little bit less than that Almirola will not be returning to the 10 car. He going to retire as well. So we know Eric Almirola, he's done. We know Todd Gilliland. So this kind of starts the trend of let's talk about the drivers who are switching teams or may not be returning to the Cup Series next year. We're going to start with Todd Gilliland. Will drive the 10 car next season. He's been elected. So let's go to the 38. It's been a decent year for Gilliland. Zane Smith from the Truck Series will be driving the 38 next season as Todd Gilliland moves to the 10. So then we're going to go through the field and kind of talk about everybody. Ty Dillon racing his last start for 77. We know Carson Hocevar going to be in that car next season. Noah Gragson. So here's some interesting news. We already know John Hunter Nemechek going to the 42 next season. Where's Gragson going? Coming to our team, High Side Motorsports. 98 car. We don't know how competitive that car will be. Still haven't decided a manufacturer yet, but that'll get publicized soon. Can't wait to put Noah Gragson in one of our cars as Harrison Burton goes by him. Harrison Burton, Matt DiBenedetto going to be back in the 21 next season. Harrison Burton, he does not have a ride set for next year. So that brings us into this conversation here with the 78. That's the charter we bought. So this is the last race for this team. At least that's a charter. They'll probably be back full-time. Or not full-time, but part-time. Rick Ware Racing going to have 2 full-time drivers next year. Justin Haley in the 15. And then Cole Custer from the Xfinity Series going to drive the 51. Contact with BJ McLeod there. So then you guys are probably wondering, well, let's go to the 31 car. Justin Haley. Why is he leaving? Well, they've elected Daniel Hemrick from the Xfinity Series to drive the 31 next year. So Haley going to stay in the Cup Series, move into Rick Ware Racing. Is there anything else to talk about? I believe there is. What else is there to talk about? Everyone else staying so far. Nothing changing with any of these guys. Alright, so that's it for roster news. So let's go back. Check out this championship fight. Truex still 4th, Hamlin 3rd. And Christopher Bell has gotten by Chastain for the championship spot. He's also gotten by Kyle Busch. So Christopher Bell now in championship spot. He's up to 3rd. And he's got a car between himself and the rest of his competition. So Christopher Bell now out front trying to win this championship. Lap 15 of 54. Closing out this season. Can Christopher Bell go out a champion? Let's see, Kyle Busch, 1 win this season coming at Bristol, right before the playoffs started. Larson still leads with Logano all over him. Logano, this is one of his best, really, performances all year. His only win coming at a super speedway, but heck, qualified, I believe that's probably his first pole, maybe his second or third, but I believe it's his first. And here he is running really well. Kyle Larson leading, but Joey Logano, can't ignore the fact that he's running second right now and got a really good car. Can Logano go out a winner this season? Hamlin all over Chastain. Truex probably getting nervous. He's running 8th, and the guy he's got to at least get all the way up to 3rd. So Martin Truex Jr. probably not too happy right now. It's been a great year for him and Chastain, and currently Bell leads this thing, and Hamlin's all over Chastain to try and take what would be 2nd in the championship running order. Ty Gibbs, hoping to be a little bit more competitive. The other Joe Gibbs car that didn't make the championship 4. He was just happy to make the playoffs as a rookie, getting eliminated in the round of 16. Ty Gibbs, been a good year, consistent year. He's been really consistent. And here he is running in the 12th spot. So Ty Gibbs, has been a good year for him. Here's Elliott. For his standards, not really been a good year. But, I mean, he's run well, but he's not dominated races. He's not won any races, obviously. And running 13th now. He hopes to be a little better next season. Suarez, Bowman. Bowman had a really slow start and almost rallied back to make the playoffs. But, again, Bowman eliminated before the playoffs even started, and then Elliott in the round of 16, Byron in the round of 12, and Larson in the round of 8. Crazy how we have no Hendrick drivers running for this championship here today. Christopher Bell has run Logano and Larson down, and he might be looking for the race win, and heck, he wants to dominate this championship race. He's not letting them get away. Christopher Bell in 3rd, Chastain 5th, Hamlin 6th, Truex 7th. Can Bell do it? Lap 20 of 54. Who is going to get it done here? Championship weekend, Christopher Bell. He's got a pretty good gap over his competition. You can see Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. really close. All 3 of them under a blanket, but none of them running for a championship right now. They are all chasing Christopher Bell for that championship. Can any of them get there? Reddick underneath Byron for 8th. All right, Christopher Bell has lost a spot to Kyle Busch. So now there's no cars between himself and the other 3 championship runners. You know, 2002 point system. Of course, this thing is keeping track of those standings. You know, of course, the season could actually have ended for the computer 5, 6, 7 races ago. Of course, we still would have had the races, but they would have determined their champion. But the points have been so close between Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. I believe Hamlin or Larson. I don't even know, because it doesn't really matter for us. We don't care. We don't really even know who the heck is running for the championship there. Like, well, it's going to be between those two. You know, so if Chastain, Truex, or Bell wins this championship, it's going to differ from what the computer says after this race is done, because the points are so close, they haven't actually been able to call it yet. It actually is going to come down to the very final race between Larson and Hamlin for 2002 points. But so what we're worried about, we're doing playoffs, and that's what matters to us. Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. all together here running 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Couldn't have scripted it any better. Christopher Bell currently in the championship spot. You know, we've seen 3 of these 4 guys in championship spot. We saw Truex, you know, he started the best of them. Chastain then got out to the lead, and now Bell got by Chastain. The only one we haven't seen in championship spot yet for at least a little bit of time is the 11 of Hamlin, who, he's all over Chastain. Might be a little bit quicker right now. Can't get by him. Truex is in trouble. Reddick got by him. Now Byron's all over him. Truex just doesn't quite seem to have the pace his other championship competitors do. He's been able to keep up with them, but, I mean, Byron got by him like twice. Truex was fortunate enough to get back by him. Reddick got by both of them. So, heck, Reddick could be on a march to go to the front. But very interesting. Tyler Reddick getting by Truex, and Truex falling back. Could he be, having to play catch-up now? These top 3 getting away. Bell is now all over Logano, who has been passed by Busch. Busch to 2nd. Bell under Logano. Bell looking for 3rd, trying to put another car between himself and his competitors for this championship. Bell, ooh, that was close. Sent it in. Thought he was going to kill Logano. I thought he was going to wreck there for a minute. Sending it in really hard, getting aggressive. That's what you got to do to win a championship, but you don't want to take yourself out. Logano not cutting him any slack. Probably upset about, Bell could have taken him out there in that corner. Logano was fortunate not to get taken out. Still racing him hard on the outside. Bell clear. And now it's Chastain's turn to try and, take away that car between himself and the championship, which right now goes to Bell. A lap away from halfway through this thing. With 27 to go next time by. We're probably 13 or 14 minutes away from having a champion approximately. Who is it going to be? Of course, pit stops will change everything. Martin Truex Jr. back to 8th. Still has not gotten back by Reddick, but he's fortunate not to lose any more spots. Christopher Bell in 3rd. It's a long way for Truex to go, but he's got to do it if he wants to be champion. Denny Hamlin looking underneath Chastain. Not quite going to get there. Those two have been racing pretty hard for... It'd be 2nd and 3rd in the championship running order for most of this race. Hamlin again not able to get by the 1, but Chastain now coming up on Logano. Going to try and get by Logano here. Logano didn't really cut Christopher Bell any slack. We'll see if he does it to Chastain. Going to force Chastain up a little bit. Hamlin all over him. Hamlin wants to get by Chastain. He knows what's at stake here. They both trying to run down Christopher Bell. Chastain's been playing defense for a while. Hamlin has been all over him. No cautions in this one so far. 29 laps into this 54-lapper before we crown a champion. Kyle Larson continues to lead. Kyle Busch to 2nd. It's the Kyle and Kyle show, which we've really not seen at all this season. So end the year with potentially a Kyle and Kyle show. Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch out front. Lap traffic, that's another thing to worry about. We're still about half a lap away from that, so still pretty far away from any lap traffic. Christopher Bell, one of the best cars on the track. He's put quite the gap over Logano. You know, Chastain, Denny Hamlin, they're going to need to get by Logano and quick because Christopher Bell's on a march to go to the front. He looks fast. Martin Truex Jr. still in 8th. Hasn't gained, hasn't lost. He may have gained a little bit of ground on them, actually. But Hamlin underneath Chastain for 2nd in this championship running order. Can he finally make the pass? He's got to get aggressive here. He's got to send it in. He's got the position now. He is going to send it in. Is he going to get clear? Barely. Chastain, no runoff. And Denny Hamlin, 2nd into the running order. That's the highest he's been so far. He's the only one of these 4 guys that has not led these other 3 at some point today. Yeah?
What are you going to have for dinner?
I don't know.
You need to come and find something.
Chastain back underneath Hamlin here. Chastain not wasting any time here. Denny Hamlin had the position. You can't just let him go. Chastain back to 2nd. This has brought Truex right back in the mix with these 2. Christopher Bell trying to get away. He's not that far out. You know, 1 pit cycle away from, you know, switching, you know, positions here. You know, Bell is looking to switch to the front, though. He's not looking to lose any ground. You know, there's always the opportunity for Bell to pull away even more through pit cycles. We'll see Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain trying to get their Truex back in 8th. As of right now, he needs to finish 3rd. We'll see. Bell's all over these top 2, though. Heck, he might need to win. Christopher Bell losing a little bit of time from Larson and Busch off of turn 4 there. Chastain, Hamlin still stuck behind Logano. Next time by, it'll be the final 20 laps before we crown a champion. The final 20 laps of Kevin Harvick's career. Final 20 laps of Eric Almirola's career. Final 20 laps for a lot of these drivers in their particular rides, such as, we talked about it earlier, Justin Haley going to the 15. Harrison Burton not going to be in the 21. It'll be Matty Benedetto next year. Noah Gragson coming to our club. John Hunter Nemechek going to the 42. You know, Cole Custer going to the 51. Carson Hocevar to the 77. The 78 not going to have a charter next year. That's going to us. Almirola, it's really not been a good year to close his season out. Been one of the worst cars, in all honesty, this season. Him and Chase Briscoe have a lot to figure out, and Ryan Preece going into the next year. Kevin Harvick, only thing keeping Stewart Haas relevant this season. We'll see if that changes going into next year, but Chastain 5th right now. Christopher Bell is 3rd, but all over these leaders. He is looking likely to be the champion, but there's a lot of racing left to go. Can Christopher Bell hang on? These top 3 have driven off from Chastain, Hamlin, and Truex. 5th, 6th, and 8th. Bell in 3rd currently. Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch lead. You know, what could have been for Kyle Larson to be champion today if he just could have gotten 1 point last week. That's all he needed was 1 point to get in. And Kyle Larson leads this one and has really dominated this one. He's been out front for a large portion. Busch and Logano have been fast, and now Christopher Bell into the mix here. 37 laps into this 54-lapper. Not too many to go before we have a champion. Not too many to go before Harvick and Almirola hang it up. You know, we know Todd Gilliland going to the 10 next year, so he's leaving the 38. That's one thing I didn't mention a minute ago. I mentioned it earlier, but not just a minute ago when I was talking about it. Cindric, 30th. It's been a bad year for Cindric. He hopes to figure it out soon. Pit cycles, they've got to be coming up soon. They've got to be coming up soon. Unless they don't pit here, which I doubt that. They probably do. Christopher Bell here out front of the other championship contenders. When will we see pit stops? You can see the gap here Bell has over his championship contenders here. They're going around again. There it is. Oh no, I thought maybe he was going to pit. I was watching the mile an hour go down. 15 to go here in the season. Who is going to be champion? Christopher Bell, a pretty large gap over Chastain, and Truex is up to 6. Hamlin 7, so a lot is going on back here. Truex got 2 spots, so a 2-for-1 deal puts him back in the competition here. I'm not sure any of these three are in competition with Christopher Bell right now, but maybe. Chastain, Truex got by Reddick and Hamlin somehow. We didn't see it. Matter of fact, we have the opportunity to go back and look at it, so we are going to. Because just a couple laps ago, he was behind Hamlin and Reddick. Well, it looks like he just worked his way around him, so it looks like he was ahead of Reddick for a while and then worked his way past Denny Hamlin. Alright, nothing crazy to see. Can only imagine. They're gonna. Here it is, Kyle Larson to pit road. You can see the access road, so we really haven't seen too many races this season with the access road. There it is, Kyle Larson using it, gonna pit before everyone else. Looks like a lap before him, BJ McLeod came down pit road, so pit stops happening with about 15 to go here in the race. Using the access road. They're gonna have to use the access road off as well. There's been a lot of incidents going on at pit road this season, especially in the playoffs. We didn't see it a whole lot in the regular season. We did early in the year, but about 10 to 20 races in, we didn't see it. Here they come, all down pit road. But ding, dang, 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 in the playoffs, we've seen it a lot. Christopher Bell into the pits. Logano, Chastain, Hamlin, Truex. Reddick went in hot, but he didn't hit anybody. See these guys coming in hot as well. Took the high line in, got to the outside of Denny Hamlin. So all of them came down pit road here. So now there's really nothing else to watch other than, see where Larson comes out. But, Christopher Bell, everybody coming down pit road, as long as there's no issues, it's looking to be pretty good for him. He's coming out. Here comes Busch. And there goes Larson. Larson going to come out with the lead. It looks like he will. Yep. What is the gap looking like? Bell, I believe, extended his gap over Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin. I believe Hamlin gained a few spots. No, he didn't. That was somebody else. Blaney? Now, who is that? Somebody short pitted, and it worked. Blaney, unless he's still out there running. Or he pitted. No, that worked for Blaney. Looks like he should have short pitted a lot, because it worked for Blaney. Or no, yeah, he's all the way up to 5th, and he was like 10th, so it really worked for him. Nobody between the 20 of Christopher Bell and the 1 of Ross Chastain. Only problem is, it's about 2.5 seconds the gap. 2.6 is the gap between the 20 and the 1. Coming to 10 to go. Christopher Bell without a caution and without any issues. It is looking to be really good for Christopher Bell right now. I believe Bell actually gained a 10th on Ross Chastain that time. Ten to go, coming to 9 to go. Looking really good for Christopher Bell. Chastain there in 4th. Hamlin in 7th. Martin Truex Jr. in 8th. What a year it has been for Chastain. What a year it has been for Truex. 6 wins each. Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin come in here. Been really fast. Been competitive all year. Just didn't quite have the wins. And I wouldn't say they've dominated quite as much. But I can tell you one thing. Christopher Bell looking to be champion after this one. You know, if it's straight up points, it's a fight between Larson and Hamlin, which right now Larson would be winning. But Larson would be looking to be champion had he got 1 point last week. Had Larson got 1 more point a week ago at Phoenix, he'd be looking to be champion. But that's not going to happen right now. Christopher Bell currently out front. And Christopher Bell, we could be calling him Season 1 champion here in just a little bit. Looking really good for the 20 car. Not too many laps to go. He has got to be shaking inside that car, praying for no caution. 2.8 the gap. That gap not getting any smaller between himself and the one of Chastain. Hamlin and Truex all the way back to 7th and 8th. So if a caution was to come out, I'm not sure how much of a factor those two would be anyway. They have Blaney and Logano, so that's a whole row right there between Bell and them. So it'd be really Bell versus Chastain, and Chastain starting on the high side. I'm not too confident Chastain would ever get by Bell, you know, depending on how many laps are left. 5 to go here. Caution comes out in the next lap or two. Bell will be champion because the race will end. So Christopher Bell, not too much to worry about. Just got to complete these next couple laps. The gap between himself and Chastain getting bigger. Here's a little bit of lap traffic, but he's going to get by it no problem. BJ McLeod. Christopher Bell hoping these laps wind out as fast as possible. He is looking to be Season 1 champion very soon. Five to go. I think I said 5 to go last time. 5 to go here. Ross Chastain, too little, too late. Wasn't able to get by Bell early. Bell kind of walked off from him, and he could be settling for a second place finish in the standings here in Season 1. Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. here, 7th and 8th. You know, it's been a good year for both. They've had their moments. Hamlin's super fast in the beginning of the year, and Truex turning it on at the end of the regular season, and sure as heck in the playoffs. And they could be looking for a 3rd and 4th place finish, just, you know, however they decide to duke it out. Not really going to matter too much. Christopher Bell, he'll be coming to 3 to go next time by, and he's looking for a win here. He's not too far behind Larson and Busch, and we're starting to come up on a lot of lap traffic. So that actually could make a difference for whether he'll win the race or not. But I do not see Chastain getting there in 3 laps. I don't even think there's any chance of that unless Bell wrecks, which is a whole nother discussion. I mean, with this lap traffic, Chastain is still losing time. He's a whole 3 seconds behind Christopher Bell right now. It's been a pretty dominant race between Larson, Busch, and Bell. You know, Logano was fast, but he fell off. Blaney was actually a little slower, but a great strategy catapults him to 5th. And heck of a playoffs for Blaney. 2 wins. Didn't win all year. Wins Dega, wins Martinsville. Almost made the championship 4. And here he is going to end the year with another top 5. Talk about coming on strong in the playoffs. Ain't nobody had him all season the way he ran. You know, between a 10th, 11th, 12th guy. Maybe 8th or 9th at best. Making it to the round of 8. You know, 2 spots short of the championship 4, and not that many points. You know, had he had a few more wins and maybe finished a little better inside the top 10, he could have carried more points into the playoffs for each round. But, I mean, it's been a good year for Blaney. You know, Logano right there coming on strong since he's been eliminated, but, you know, an abysmal round of 8 for him. I think I said he was eliminated in the round of 12. No, Logano did make it to the round of 8. White flag in the air. Christopher Bell. Talk about dominant over the other championship 4 drivers. A 3.3 second gap. It's only getting bigger. He's got the hardest guy in NASCAR to pass. Ryan Newman in front of him. Going through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in Season 1. Bye-bye Harvick, bye-bye Almirola. They're going off to retirement. Many of these drivers switching teams. But out of turn 4, Christopher Bell, he's Season 1 champion. Way to go for the 20 team. Joe Gibbs, how disappointed he would have been coming into this race with a 75% chance having 3 of the 4 spots go to his drivers. He'd have been disappointed if one of them couldn't bring it home. Chastain gets second, but Christopher Bell, the man of the hour, the man of the season, who would have thought, the 20 team, Season 1 champion. I didn't count him out. Not all season, I didn't count him out. You know, Kyle Larson picks up his 5th win of the year. 1 point away from being champion this year. How disappointing that's got to be for him. Kyle Busch ends the year super well. He hopes to share some of that speed with the 3 of Dillon next year, who's been not great this year. Christopher Bell, going to be our Season 1 champion. Way to go, and there he's gone. Chastain going to finish 2nd, and it looks like Truex was able to get by Hamlin, so Truex 3rd. Denny Hamlin ends up 4th this season. And let's see, so the 2002 standings, it was close, but we'll see if Larson or Hamlin comes out with it. Let's see. Champion chase comes to an end. Kyle Larson wins at Homestead as Hamlin takes the championship. So they're saying Denny Hamlin wins the championship, but hold on. That's weird that they're saying Hamlin wins the championship because Larson had more points than him right there. Maybe it's a glitch. Yeah, that might be a glitch because according to the standings here, Kyle Larson would have been champion. But neither of them are champion. It's Christopher Bell. Bell, well, that's only his 3rd win of the year. Or never mind, he didn't win. What the heck am I talking about? Yeah, 3 wins for him. Sorry, Chastain had 7 wins this year, not 6. He had 7. What a year. So ending the season here, most laps led to Denny Hamlin. Most laps completed. Larson completed all but 10 laps this year. You know, 2 DNFs, but clearly they came late in the races because he only had 10 laps not completed. Poles, 7 for Larson and Truex, 5 for Bell, 4 for Byron, 3 for Reddick and Chastain, 2 for Bell and Logano, 1 for Busch, Elliott, and Blaney. Wow, what a season. Can't wait to get Season 2 underway. We'll see how these standings finished out. You know, of course, our standing's going to be a little different. Looks like Briscoe made her up to 31st after, you know, him and Burton share 9 DNFs on the season. It's crazy. You know, Briscoe did have 9 in the first, 20-something races, though. So he hasn't DNF'd in a long time, but he DNF'd, the first 7 of the 9 races. It was crazy, but... Alright, guys, that's going to do it. Appreciate everybody that's watched at all in this season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll be back for Season 2. Excited to get Season 2 underway now that we're done with Season 1. Took me a few months to get it all uploaded, but I've had fun doing this, and appreciate everybody that's tuned in and watched this series, and we'll be back for Season 2 with many changes, and just try and have fun with this thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Some of you guys probably happy that Bell got the championship. Some of you guys probably not. Chastain gonna go down 2nd, Truex 3rd, Hamlin 4th. Appreciate you guys for watching, and peace out.